Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. We hope you enjoyed the summit until now. We want to start our session. My name is Sophy. I'm part of the IC team. And we're happy to see all the community here in this weekend. This room, the workshop room, we start to lead this room since last year because we understand, we get a feedback from the community that panels and fancy speakers is amazing, but sometimes they want to get tools when they're going back home, they're going back to the cities, the communities they're living in. They want to take something with them and to be active. And this room focusing in fighting anti-Semitism and civic engagement and how to be more civically engaged in your city. And we try to be creative and to bring sessions that take you outside of the box of your trouble in your city and give you tools, and when you come back, you taking everything and connect it to your challenges that you're meeting. And we have the honor to have here Omri that will lead this session and will talk with us about collaboration, because we understand in the last 2 years how much relationship outside of the Israeli American community, outside of the Jewish American communities, how much we need to build a relationship with allies. And I'm sure that we're going to get a lot of tools from this session. You have QR codes in the, on your tables. We have a resource center with all the tools that we're sharing with the community in all the sessions in the workshop, and you're more than welcome to scan it and to take it with you home and to read all the tools. If you're missing the other sessions, this is your opportunity. And now I'm welcoming you.
Thank you, Sophie. Shabbat Shalom. We'll take the advantage, thanks. We have almost an hour, and I'm very practical. So we'll take the advantage of that we're not a lot of people, so we can also work on things that are challenging you. One word in one sentence about the background. 30 years ago, assassination of our Prime Minister, I'm Israeli, yeah, if nobody noticed. Assassination of our Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, and I understand that my mission was to develop mediation in Israel as part of the culture, as a process, as a tool in many arenas. In the first years, nobody understood what I wanted, and I initiated the first firm, Gefen group. We developed mediation, and in a decade or two, it became known everywhere. Mediation in Israel, like the States, every system and implemented in every way. And about 16 years ago, I understood the world is becoming much more complicated, okay? And especially I'm working with leaders, and also as a CEO myself, an entrepreneur and a CEO for more than 20 years, I understood that the tools of conflict management, the tools of negotiation that also I work a lot, are not good enough to cope with the complexity we have. And then I went down deeper into the areas of collaboration and trust. And I developed a model and a paradigm, and I'll talk about it now. I will say in advance, it's very practical. In the last years, I'm working a lot with communities, organizations around these areas. Then that's enough. You can see in my site, and I won't say more about myself. A question for yourself. Don't raise your hand. Each one of you answer yourself. How would you rate yourself? How good are you in collaboration, in relationship, in connections you have? Try to rate yourself if you think you're good in collaboration relationships or less. Okay? Everyone gave yourself some number between 1 to 100 or something like that? Okay. I won't ask. 110. Okay. Between 1 and 10. I won't ask you to raise your hand, but usually when I ask this question in every organization, every room, especially executives, the answer is yes. Yes, we're good in collaboration. I think I'm good in relationship building and collaboration. Usually we perceive ourselves as good in this area, okay? I'll ask a second question, a little bit more problematic. When a collaboration is in disruption, when it doesn't work, when a relationship between us and another person or between our organization or our community with another community organization is damaged, how much will we perceive ourselves as responsible for this lack of collaboration or the damage of relationship? Don't answer me. Answer yourself. Usually, the room is silent when I ask this question because usually we say it's not us, it's them. It's not about my intention, my ability. It's about the other side. It's him. He is full of ego. Okay? They do not understand. They do not want to collaborate with us. So, and this is very, very, very common, and you will see it as part of the challenges we have in collaboration. And you know, it's not personal, but it's very human. And many times we fall in that area. And when I'm talking about collaborative leadership, and it's amazing because all the sessions I went in these days, people were standing and saying, we must work together. The challenges are huge, okay? And I would say sincerely as an Israeli that, and I was never bothered, or I even didn't know what's happening in the world, the Jewish and the Israeli world. We have we have enough problems in Israel, and I was working all the time with organizations of all sectors and communities inside Israel. Only in the last months I understand we have a problem. It's a vicious problem. It's a big challenge, and no community, no organization abroad or in Israel can deal with this challenge alone, okay? It's something much bigger. And when I'm listening to what's happening here, and I'm talking with a lot of people, they say, yeah, we want collaboration. We understand we must develop an ecosystem, but it does not work well enough. So I'll give you the main reasons why it does not work, okay? There are 10 barriers or challenges that we must address in order to understand why things are not working or relationship or collaboration is damaged. And then I'll share with you a concrete and very simple model in order to build collaboration and create effective collaboration. You received sheets now, yeah? You have each one? Okay. In order that it will be practical and concrete for you, I would ask you to choose one interface you have with another entity, another organization, another community that is not working good. Each one has something like this? Okay, yeah, probably. Okay? Usually it's not because of us, it doesn't work good. Yeah, it's because of them. That's, yeah, that's what we said before. And this questionnaire is actually is part of the model. It resembles the model that I will share with you later. You don't have to do it in parallel to talk now. You can keep it with yourself. And by the way, I'm here until the end of the conference and somebody wants to consult one-on-one and you have more information. I'm talking about actually 2 chapters from the book, The Power of Collaboration from Ecosystem to Ecosystem. And, but I would ask you to think about this interface. Okay, when I'm talking, you can fulfill the things, but think about this interface that you say it's important for us, it's important for me, but it's not the full potential, it doesn't work good enough. Okay, so we'll have something concrete and share with us later on the main things. Why collaboration does not work good? Where are the barriers, where are the challenges? What do you think? Communication, okay. Lack of communication, yeah. What? Shared goals. We don't always have shared goals. We don't always define them. We don't always understand them. Is it necessary, by the way? Is it possible that we create a partnership and you have your goals and I have my goals? Okay, transparent goals, that's one issue. Shared goal, not always. It's better we have shared goals, but remember, it's okay. In the business arena, I want, my goal is time to market, and your goal is a new kind of audience, okay? Customers, a new arena of customers. Different goals, okay? It's possible. It's better to have shared goals. What else? When doesn't it work? I don't need... Different cultures, okay? It's a very strong issue here in this conference, okay? And we don't always understand the differences. We'll talk about it. Sometimes in our organization, in our community, there are different cultures, okay? Even different genders, different generations create this challenge. What else? A what? Define the value. Okay, define the value is connected also with the goals, but understanding the value, sometimes we miss that, okay? We have assumptions about the values, or we're not dealing with it. We have a great connection, let's collaborate. We're not defining the real value. And the last one? Okay, understanding win-win. Everybody knows how to talk about win-win, to declare win-win, but in practice, it doesn't work well enough, and trust is a very, very big issue, okay? So we'll look at the main things. Try to think about your interface, the interface you chose, and define from the 10 main barriers or challenges I'll talk about now, the 2 main ones, okay? Usually it's not all the 10. It will be, everyone chose an interface? You have something in mind? Okay, you think about something. Okay, great.
Do you think about personality issues, or you try to overlook it in the collaboration?
I'm asked this sometimes about gender. Do women collaborate better than have better relationship than men, etc.? It's also about personality, but usually it will be about leadership. It will be about organizational or cultural or community culture. Okay, so a person that does not want to create partnerships in the area, and if the area is building partnerships, he will not be relevant. Okay, so we see this also as a transformation of some communities and organizations regarding what is relevant.
In collaboration, do they always want to be right and on top and be the one that shows up and
Ego? Okay, we'll talk about that. Yeah, it's a challenge, but we can work with that, okay? So I'm talking usually about leadership blind spots, because when I talk with leaders about collaboration that does not work well enough, usually they don't see why that's happening, okay? They give solutions that are not in the right area. And let's look at these main things. The first one is the leadership and accountability barrier, or leadership and accountability challenge. If I, as a leader, I'm not taking responsibility on collaboration, I do not see the value for my organization or my community, it's more important for me to be, by the way, if you want the presentation, write me in the site, in the website, and I'll send it, I'll take care that it will be sent to you, I promise that. And other things are more important for me as a leader than creating value by collaboration with others, I will have a problem, okay? Or if I have a high level or need for control. And this is leadership, and accountable leadership is not simple, okay? Because many of us are used to be, as leaders, the one that know and give the solutions. And today, it doesn't work anymore, especially not in collaborative leadership, not in the organizations and communities, and not outside. Accountability means that what's happening in my community, my organization, has influence on what's happening outside, and I'm supposed to see the bigger picture, okay? It's not only my backyard. And this is a very, very important issue of the Jewish and Israeli communities and organizations worldwide, because what I understand, Most of us are struggling in our backyard with our challenges. I came from a session that they were bothered with anti-Semitism in schools and things like that. And to be accountable is to see the broader picture, the bigger picture, and take responsibility also for what's happening in other areas. Silos, we grew up in silos, okay? Each one of us as a manager, as an employee, there are different silos in organizations, different communities. If you take a city, you have the silo of the Jewish community, the Muslim community, the Christian community, and others. And what's happening here, there is a concept of breaking the silos. I'm not saying break the silos, but what we need to do is create much more connections, much more windows and passages between. And it means if we're taking Jewish and Israeli communities in the world and organizations, understanding and learning what's happening in other areas. NIH is a definition that was first written in the investigation committee report of 9/11. What they said is that all the information was there. All the information was there, no problem of information, but it was scattered between 14 agencies, and these agencies had no connection because each one, NIH, means not invented here. I have my challenges, you have your challenges, you have your problems. Each one of us will solve it in our own capability and with our specific emphasis, and we don't have anything to learn from each other. We're talking today in many organizations and community, what we're doing is passing from NIH, not invented here, to proudly founded elsewhere. Maybe an organization that is overseas, okay, or a community that is on the other side of the United States, found a solution for my challenges, okay, which are better than what I can create alone. And we are not dealing with learning and understanding what's happening in other areas, and this is very important because it creates, eventually it creates a situation that we're not working together. You understand this? This, what? What?
A little bit, if you can, say one word, two words in Hebrew.
In Hebrew? Okay, for who? For you? Okay, great. So I'll pass a little bit to Hebrew. I'll try. We don't have a lot of time, but I'll try. העניין פה זה הסילו זה מונח, הנפרדות הזאת יוצרת מצב שכל אחד מאיתנו, NIH, הרעיון הוא שאני אפתור את הדברים שלי בדרך שלי ואתה תפתור אותם בדרך שלך, כי אנחנו שונים. אין לי מה ללמוד ממך, אתה קהילה באזור אחר, אתה עם מתמודדויות אחרות. הרעיון של PFE, Proudly Founded Elsewhere, אומר שאני הולך ולומד איך אחרים, גם שהם שונים מאוד ממני, יתמודדו עם אותם עניינים, אוקיי? But I'll stick to English, otherwise it will take twice the time. I'll be happy to meet with you after that. And the book is in Hebrew. What? Not invented here. Not invented here means that I have no interest in your challenges and your solutions because we are different, okay? And PFE means I will adopt with proud what you solved, even if I didn't invent it myself, okay? Competition. Who said win-win? You said, yeah, win-win? Okay. Competition is okay. I have no problem with competition. But usually, regarding challenges we have like this, competition will not lead us, will not bring us to the right place, okay? So we need a conscious choice when to compete and when not to compete, when to collaborate and when not to collaborate. And the most fascinating term there's also a chapter on the book on that, and I believe in that, and I work with a lot of organizations. Competition means cooperation and competition together, or frenemies, okay? The ability to create cooperation even with my competitors, לשתף פעולה עם המתחרים, okay? Which is very, very challenging, but the business world is going there. Business world is clearly going there, and I think if some of you are from civil organizations, NGO, it seems you're competing between each other, okay? And I'm writing about this in the book, that the business arena understands competition and works nice in that area. The civil arena does not, okay? Because you still think you're competing with others on the philanthropic lake or sea. Ego is a very big challenge, okay? But ego stems leadership, okay? I'm full of ego because I want to create change in the world. When is the problem? In the minute that ego manages us, okay? We do not manage the ego. And then we get hubris, chet hayora, okay? And then there's no chance to collaborate. Nobody wants to collaborate with somebody which is hubris and knows everything. And this is a very big leadership challenge. So we're talking about humility. And this is a transformation leaders are going through. This is a transformation organizations and communities are going through because there's no other way. We do not kill the ego because ego is good. We manage the ego. And this is a very important point. Fear. There's no way we create a partnership and my stomach will not ache in any way, okay? Because I'm becoming dependent. I'm showing that maybe I'm showing that I'm weak and I need help from another organization. Maybe I will be, because I'm vulnerable, maybe I will get hurt in this way or another. Okay, so there are risks in any kind of partnership. Sorry. And we have to take that in account. Okay, so to go into partnerships, we need courage. And this is something that many times we do not know how to talk about, especially men. Okay, I can say that as a man. So this barrier, this challenge is about the whole emotional area and understanding how to deal with that because it's there. Another challenge is, who said about the cultures, different cultures? Okay, yeah, different cultures is a very big gap, but it's not only the American culture or the Israeli culture or the Muslim culture or the Jewish culture, it's also different professions in organizations, okay? Because when we look at the same situation from the lens of HR, finance, IT, okay, we look at the same situation with very different angles, and we're not always aware that we have different languages and different lens, and this is very important. Okay, sometimes it happens in organizations, in communities, but of course we have to do that. We have to be very sensitive and understanding when we're talking between different cultures. ROI, I don't know if you know this term, return on investment. I would say if you have no gain from collaboration, don't put any effort there. Okay? Collaboration is not a goal. Remember this. Collaboration is a mean to achieve goals. Safety, continuity, makom tov, okay? Anything we want, and we understand that it's better to do that with other entities, but I invest there, that's a minus. I do not invest in other opportunities at that time, okay? And the question is, what value I gain in return? I have to get added value from collaboration that is high enough in order to invest there. So I'm saying, and many times we underestimate the value of collaboration and we do not invest there. Many times we overinvest in a collaboration or partnership that does not bring us value. So start think about this systematically, okay? This is the chart, this is the equation, and let's see if it's worth the investment or not, time, resources, whatever, okay? So it's a different way to look at any kind of partnership. Balancing task force with interaction master, many times, again, especially leaders, especially managers, we are focused on the mission, we are focused on achieving the goals, and we're not sensitive enough to the interaction, to the process. So we have to balance that. And interaction creates collaboration. Interaction creates collaboration. I put on the table a lot of times the sentence, take radical responsibility on relationships in our lives, okay? So leaders, especially, must take radical responsibility on our relationships. It's not very common, but that's a direction we want to go. יהיה בסדר? Okay, we go into a partnership and everything will be good. Never, never, never. Okay? Always it's problematic. Always it's challenging. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Okay? So when you go into a partnership, put on the table the gaps, define things we usually prefer not to define because it's not nice to talk about the gaps and these things. Okay? And remember, always there will be challenges, and that's why we do not put our head in the sand. This is very dangerous. Many collaborations, many times I'm asked to come and deal with crises in partnerships. And a lot of times it's because things were not defined in the beginning in the right way. So this is something very crucial. The last one, trust. Okay? Since we started half an hour ago, anyone here was thinking about oxygen in the room? No. Why? Because there is oxygen. The same thing with trust. Okay? We do not think about trust when it's there. But when trust is, if there would not be oxygen now in the room, what would we think about? Oxygen, only about oxygen, okay? When there's no trust, we are thinking only about the trust. Okay, so trust is a very, very important lever or obstacle creating collaboration. Now from here I want to pass, by the way, the interface you chose. Somebody can say what's the main challenge he found there from the 10 challenges? Share with us. You chose an interface? You have something you chose? A partnership with another organization? No, only if you chose, if you have something. Anyone? Yeah. One. The school? Okay. The shared value, okay. Okay, it's the ROI. It's understanding the why to invest there. And then probably one side does not want to really to invest in collaboration. He does not understand the value? Okay. Okay. When we do not understand and have a shared understanding on the value and the interest, we look at it now, it's very difficult to create effective collaboration. Another example? Yeah. Israelis and Jewish community, American, but in general or something specific? You're talking about two specific communities. Okay. And what is the main barrier? The cultural. And the second one? Maybe ego. And who does not understand the other side, the culture? Both do not understand? It's not more the Israelis? They don't know how much? They don't know. Okay, and this is about hubris again. Okay, and it's about humility, and when we come to collaboration, it's very, very important to come with the ability to unknown, to put aside our perceptions and assumptions and create something different. How do you deal with that? What do you do there? Why do you put effort in the different communities before working together? Why you put efforts in building different communities, the two communities? Okay. 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 Sometimes this is the right way because people, when they come with secure identity, it's easier for them to start building with the others, okay? Sometimes it's better to build from the beginning. I'll show you an example later on. Yeah. 30 or 40 organizations. Okay. Okay.
What we found a theory of what they call collaborative impact. So we're creating a different organization, a different website that will share all the experiences of everybody, rather than try and bridge all these gaps and bridge all these egos and bridge all these things.
And you're in a stage that you can see it works?
Well, we're at a stage of building that external
Okay.
mediation.
Okay. This is also a path which is relevant and effective. It's called, usually I use the name collective impact. And in collective impact, we have a backbone organization, which is outside, is neutral, can create mediation on the way. But it's not, I would still put effort in creating trust between the organizations, okay, between the leaders. Because the way is challenging. Maybe we'll have a talk about it later. Okay, but collective impact is very powerful. Yeah. 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 Why to collaborate? Why to cooperate? They need it? Do they need it? Do they want it? Okay. Okay. You want them to be together. Okay. Okay, that's a question. I'll relate to that now in the model, okay? So let's go on. And the paradigm actually to solve or to cope with these 10 challenges, these 10 barriers and the human habits we have is actually systematic and structured collaboration, okay? Otherwise, it will work only if we're friends, if we have a good relationship, or if the situation is a situation like the 7th of October, and we have, it's a survival situation, okay? So we're talking about managing collaboration, not being managed. Many people say, it's not because of me, I have no influence on this, so to create a strategy and to manage the collaboration with help from outside or structure we build inside. Shared language and measuring to understand exactly where we want to go, to create a shared language with the differences. Jewish and Israelis, with the differences, let's create shared language about the process, about the collaboration, okay? Create high velocity value. These processes do not have to take long. Okay, if we're working with the right tools and the leadership, okay, that is engaged there, we don't have to need long processes. And this is a mantra, okay, passing from ecosystem to ecosystem, but the mantra works. The mantra I see in Israel, somebody called me from a city in the south and say, Omri, help us build an ecosystem. Okay, and I asked them what? And they told me it's about bringing the three sectors together. And this is the idea, but let's go into the model. And the model, the power is in its simplicity. And you can see in the questionnaire, each bunch of questions is about one of the elements in the model. But before we're talking about the 4 elements, we have to understand the 3 levels of partnership. Because many times we use the different words for the same idea, or we have misunderstanding about the idea we want to go. So defining or creating shared language begins with understanding the level of partnership we want to go. Coordination is about knowledge, sharing knowledge, okay, and synchronization. Maybe IAC or all the organizations we have in this arena will share information about anti-Semitism and the tools against anti-Semitism, maybe it will be enough. For sure, it will be very effective, very powerful. It's not happening today, but this is one level of partnership, okay? coordination. תיאום וסנכרון. סבבה? תסמן לי כשאתה צריך את זה. אז מה, אוקיי. אוקיי. אוקיי, יכול, כן. אז זה. Cooperation, שיתוף פעולה, okay? Joint operation or action. It's a project, it's an operation, it's something which is more efficient, okay? Because we share the assets and abilities, but it's bounded, okay? It's bounded regarding the scope, regarding the time. It's not endless, okay? It's not about everything together. It will be a project between 3 organizations here, or something in a city, or between cities, etc. Collaboration, in Hebrew it's shitufiyut, okay? In the military system we say shiluviyut. And this is long-term, this is about synergy, this is about higher mutual dependency and commitment. And this is the only level that can deal with adaptive challenges, okay? Creating an ecosystem, for example, an ecosystem of the Jewish and Israelis, organizations and community worldwide, okay, this is about collaboration. We have to get there, but this is the area most of us struggle. Why these levels are important? Because it's not always here. Sometimes our ROI, our goals, we can achieve them creating better coordination or high-level coordination, sometimes cooperation, sometimes collaboration. What's important is that we have the shared language with the other partners, that when we're talking about something, we understand what we're talking about. So you can look back, I won't stop now for discussion, but you can look back at the interface you chose and ask yourself, is it coordination? Is it cooperation? Is it collaboration? And is it the right thing for us and the other party? Okay? Between, I don't know the name, between the 2 communities, okay? Do you want to create coordination or create actions that are together or create something on a higher level of synergy? What do they want, okay? So we want to define where we are now and where we want to be further on. Now we're looking at the 4 elements of each level of collaboration, each level of partnership, okay? These 4 elements, it's like 3C and 4E. These 4 elements are the basic of every level of partnership. And again, look at the model, it's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. So I'll go past the elements and then you'll get the picture. Each element resembles in the questions you have in the questionnaire. First is understanding why. I'm coming back to your example, okay? What are the interests of the organizations there? Or in your example of 40 organizations, did you map the interests of the different organizations? Now, when I'm talking about interests, it's the level of the organization, the entity, the community. And the main question, what is the main question to understand interests and needs? What would you ask? I'm very practical. What would you ask? To understand the needs and interests of the other, what do I want? Many times I will give you the solution. If Sophy and I are arguing if the door will be open or closed, and she will ask me, Omri, what do you want? I will answer the position. I want the door closed. Okay, that's not interesting. This is under the surface. Under the surface, what? There? What issues we have around the door? It's about transparency. It's about, I don't know, ability, water, domination. Maybe it will give me the direction, but we have a much more precise question, which is the most important question. Okay, why is an important question? If I'm curious, not if I'm judgmental, I will ask her why you want the door closed, okay? And the other question? I want the door open. If you ask somebody, why do you want it open? Okay, then maybe I'll get some of the needs and interests. And the most important question, and from this hour, if you take this, we've done a lot, Okay, the most important question in collaboration, partnership, and relationship is what is important for you. I will ask Sophy. Sophy, what is important for you? The door is on the table in the last project. Maybe it's a symptom, maybe it's something deeper. What is important for you in our partnership, in our relationship? Asking what is important for us is very, very crucial. What is important for the other side is very, very effective, okay? And also, when we're asking why, we're asking what are the potential shared goals, as you said before, the benefits, and to understand if it's in alignment with the vision and values. These organizations we were talking about, okay, can you define their interests or their vision? Okay. Okay. And now we're going to a deeper level regarding interests and needs. And I would say that interest is at the level of the organization, like you said now, but needs is on the personal level. And eventually, even when we're creating partnerships between organizations, eventually it's between people, okay? So I will go deeper regarding the first element of the value, and I will try to understand the needs of the people there. Now we have tangible needs. I need resources, I need time, I need rest, I need security, whatever. We have intangible needs. Okay, the list is long. What is a more powerful force moving people? Intangible needs. Okay, so if I want to build a deep partnership, if I want to create the obligation of these organizations to come into the room and share this path together, so the challenge is to get to the leaders and understand their intangible needs. Okay, this is a very big challenge because we need to invest time. We need to come with humility. Okay, to listen, really listen, not come with our perceptions. And we need to understand that the picture, which is quite complicated, not always we have answers. But this is the most powerful force in order to create partnerships and relationships. You wanted to say something, to ask? Yeah.
Maybe taking a little bit back, but asking what's missing, what's lacking, to get to what is important for people, how success is created. Can I get to start with what is missing?
To start with what is missing, you will tell me what is missing, or you will ask me what is missing? Yeah, but you can get there in the discussion, in the conversation. I would usually try to start with what are your challenges, what is important for you, how do you perceive the implementation, the execution of the plans and the goals of the organization, okay? And try to learn the other side better, and then bring up your needs or your solutions or your directions, okay? What do you know about the other side? Okay. Assumptions, but you know, in real estate, I'm not a real estate man, but in real estate, they say location, location, location. In collaboration, also negotiation, I say preparation, preparation, preparation. Learn anything you can about the other side. The organization, the decision-making makers, the leadership, the influencers, their challenges, their gaps, okay? And come to the conversation open. Now, if in the conversation, you will not be able to understand what is their gaps, or I would say their interests and needs, that you can give value, it will not happen. And the most dangerous thing is somebody will say to me, okay, no problem, we will have a partnership, we will collaborate, but a day after that I will not find him. He will not respond to my mails and phones, okay? So always collaboration. The core of the collaboration is really understanding and sharing the interests of the organizations, the entities, and the needs of the leaders. Second, remember it's a pyramid, okay? It's a pyramid with 3 levels and 4 elements. Yeah? Ah, okay. Put it aside. Yeah. I will learn anything I can about you before I come, okay, and your organization, but I will put it aside and will come very open. Yeah, this is very important, okay? Not to come close. Let's go quickly on the other elements of the model because this will give you the whole picture. And again, it's very simple, very important. If we have only one element in the pyramid or 3 elements strong and 1 weak, the pyramid will fall down, okay? So the second question is how on the formal level. The structure, the organization structure, roles and responsibility, formal communication, IT systems, procedures, work methods. These are the structure of the collaboration. It can be in my organization, or for example, you're taking an organization from outside that will create that. I will tell you that usually too much bureaucracy will damage collaboration. You know that good in organization, and too much hierarchy. And that's also happening in communities, will block collaboration, partnership with others. Okay, so these are very big challenges. But to define this and to create a better solutions regarding collaboration, this is very, very important when we're talking about the structure. So the third element, okay, in the pyramid is how, first this one, how on the formal level, and this one, how in the informal level. Okay, relationships. And I'm not talking about friendships. As Israelis, many times we think if we're not friends, no chance we will be able to work together. So it's not about friendship, it's about relationship. It's about taking full responsibility on our relationships, okay, and trust, mutual respect, tolerance to differences. Okay, the list is long here. I'll put emphasis on 2 things. 1, the ability to manage conflicts. Conflicts will always be there, okay? Many of us as leaders, we are afraid we avoid conflicts. So ask yourself in the interface you chose, what is your ability regarding the managing conflicts and not leaving things vague and unsolved, because usually it will meet you at the worst time in Botsma, too strong, okay, to manage it, and then you lose control. The other thing, building networks, okay? We must work in building networks, not only LinkedIn, not only conferences. Listen, this is very important. Look at this fascinating example. Prevost, the last Apifair that was chosen on May 2025, okay? Now, nobody thought he will be chosen because it's not seniority, he's not Gadol Batorah, he's not the smartest religious matter, but he was the central in the network of all the cardinals of the Vatican. And this is a study that was that was put out in the same day he was chosen. Okay, and they showed that his ability to create connections with influential members, the information bridging between different groups, okay, and his ability to build coalitions and allies, and this what brought him to be chosen as the next Apifair. And you know, the white smoke and all this ceremony. So building network is basic in creating partnerships in complex arenas. It's very relevant for what's happening here. And again, not only the connections we have in conferences or LinkedIn, etc. Fourth one, remember, the first one was why. Second one was how, formal level. Third one was how on the informal level. The fourth is what? The commitment, the execution, what is happening tomorrow morning, okay? We will not leave this only as a declaration. Every organization I'm coming to, many of the people in the room know, In the vision, synergy, one company, but practically it does not happen not effectively as it should. So we're talking about a long list, longer than what's happening here. Transparency, performance, priorities, decision-making processes, and so on, so on. We must give a lot of effort in creating action items and plans which are relevant in the field. I'll share with you a vision of mine. I hope ILC will adopt this vision because it's starting to happen in the world. I'm talking in the last years about the new role. You know, many roles will be faded away because of the AI. And this role is called Chief Collaboration Officer. We can combine it with also community management or chance management, depends on the kind of organization. And my vision is that the Jewish and Israeli world will have a network of professionals that lead collaboration in organizations and in communities. I can tell you that I'm after the first training of CCOs in Israel. It took us 1 year. And there were 3, איך אומרים מכרזים? מה? מכרז. Tender? Tender? Bids. Okay. Okay. מכרזים. Of government officers in Israel, and the definition was CCO. We're looking for a CCO. Okay, so it's happening in Israel. It's starting to happen in the world, and this will be an accelerator of professional collaboration, professional partnership. Main insights, and then I'll give 1 or 2 examples. Collaboration is a leadership discipline, and it's starting to be more and more important. Second, most failures are predictable. We have these 10 barriers, these 10 challenges. If we look at that and work with that, we can avoid failures we have in collaboration with taking responsibility and accountability. All 3 C levels are relevant. It's okay to go for coordination. It's okay to go for cooperation. It's okay to go for collaboration, not always go for the top, okay? You remember in the pyramid. Effective collaboration requires what I called collaborative architecture. The architecture is the design of the collaboration of the system, of the way it works, okay? So think of the idea of collaborative architecture and think of the idea of collaborative intelligence. My work in the world, in many arenas, I'm talking about 2 main legs. One is collaborative intelligence, the other is collaborative architecture, and these 2 bring together a full picture, which is much more effective. Humility. Without humility, it will be very, very difficult to create real collaboration. And remember the sentence of Peter Drucker, culture is strategy for breakfast. It can be organizational culture, it could be community culture. And so working on the culture is very, very important as part of the process. 2 concrete examples that you will understand. I'm not talking theory, I'm talking practice. And I have the privilege in the last 30 years to assist in many challenges in many areas. Ramle, you know the city of Ramle? Ramle is one of the biggest cities in Israel, which is mixed with minorities, Jews, religious, secular, Haredi, Arabs, both Christians and a lot of Muslims, and a lot of Christians and many other groups. It's a city with a potential of disruptions and eruption, and it can very easily escalate. What we've done here, we worked, really, I had a big opportunity to work for about 14 years with the leadership of all the groups in Ramle. It took half a year to bring them together, to choose them. We're talking about informal or informal leaders of communities. We're talking about formal leaders from municipalities and different organizations. So it took half a year to bring them to the room. It took me about a year, no, a little bit less, to build trust, to build the acquaintance and trust and the obligation to the process. And then what happened that this group managed a lot of conflicts that could easily erupt into violence in the streets. Okay, this forum, Multicultural Leadership Forum, saved a lot of blood in the streets, and it was a process exactly with the principles and tools we were talking about before. Same thing but different with 8 Haredi municipalities we have in Israel. And what we've done there is a process of a couple of years of working together, not the political level, only the professional executive level. And the goal was to create better life for the residents of the cities. Okay, they cooperated in learning, they cooperated in improving different subjects that matter to the Haredi civilians, and this is a very, very powerful process. Sophie, we have a couple of minutes for questions, or you want to share from your case studies you took? Somebody that we didn't hear before? Yeah. Thought you raised your hand? Yeah.
Everything you said is applicable to marriage.
I do not understand anything in marriage. Yeah, I know. Even sometimes, even in the book, I think I wrote this example. Coordination is the text. Bring 2 milks and don't forget the kids in the car. Cooperation is let's go abroad once a year. Collaboration is finishing the day together. Let's sit together and understand what's happening.
Types of marriages.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, operational partners or collaboration is something which is deeper and yeah, it's a friendship. Yeah, it is also in that area. Did it? Is it relevant for you? Yeah.
I see that you have a website and I see the books, but it seems like you are working on different projects. Is there anything that you are building on like an online platform, or you work only in Israel?
I believe that the challenge or the direction with ISC will be to build online. So no problem. I work also with organizations abroad, mainly business organizations. So we work online. We have to define it in the right way. Online is much more challenging, but it's possible and it's relevant, and maybe you can have, I don't know where you're coming from, but you can have an offsite of a couple of days of working deeply and then online or before, but it's relevant. We can talk about it, yeah. You're talking about your challenges and what? Okay, I understand. Yeah, of course. Even when we're talking about business firms, many of them are scattered around the world, global business. Yeah, it can apply, and it's challenging in some aspects, but it's very relevant. The same principles, the same processes, and trust, to create acquaintance. But it's possible. We do it a lot in global organizations. Yeah. Yeah.
The slideshow that you had today, is there a way to get a copy of that?
Yeah. Just go into you have the QR in your papers or here. Yeah. And right there that you ask the presentation, and I'll make sure that you'll be sent the presentation. The what? I'm not selling the books because it's in Amazon. Taylor and Francis on Amazon. So, but if you go into the website, you'll see that by Amazon, and now they have a very big discount. So you can buy a couple of them. And the advantage with the book is that it creates a shared language. There are some organizations and communities that they give the leaders the book and say, okay, let's read this chapter and start understanding and implementing what's written there, and then go to the model. So it's a very simple and concrete and practical language. The book is not theoretically, and also the model is not. But you can easily purchase. The book in English is quite new. It's only from the last month, so it's on Amazon now. in Israel, I can help you with the Israeli book if you want. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you.